everybody and welcome to this playthrough for Master Division in the Touchdown Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also visit golfclashtommy.com for more Golf Clash related content. Get the ultimate tournament text guides where you can then get, obviously, for the Touchdown Tournament, all the divisions, not just Master, but it will for sure help you out improving your tournament gameplay and maybe get that banner that you're looking for. On the right hand side you will see the info box where you find elevation, not only for the drive or the first shot, but also for the second shot if we have one. Also the ball that I suggest you to play with, and also the club or the clubs that I would think is going to be key clubs in this tournament. Have in mind that I'm not telling you that you should and must use those type of setups, but in the end it's suggesting, it's guide, and it's tested and they work. And that's the important part, you know. In Master, you have no room for making any mistakes. And in this tournament, you do have hole number 1 and hole number 4, which is absolute must eagles. If you don't get them, it's basically like getting a par on a tough par 4 otherwise in other tournaments. So, let's go to hole number 1. So for hole number 1, we're going to play a very special elevation. We're going to get into that in a bit. First, add 5.5 bar backspin and as much side spin to the right possible. Sorry, left possible. Yellow ring just by the rough line, and that applies for a poke 5 and a poke 6, a 7 and an 8 as well. Then you adjust minimum distance with a minus 40%. And then we're going to apply with approximately 75% of a ball in curl. And we're going to play with a Kingmaker here to just, you know, save our special balls. Just play with, you know, enough special balls here. We need to use a little bit more curl, but speed-wise, that's absolutely perfect. You may wonder, why do I play with minus 40? It's because we are going to play with a Kingmaker and we are so far away from the bunker, so we need to reduce the adjustment with a Kingmaker, you know, with the normal elevation, and so the ball is going to fly longer. So we're testing and trying out, and you know, thanks for people that has been helping out with that. We did figure out it's going to be minus 40%. You can hit great left, great right. You can play with a power 3 ball starting from max position, and you have no problem getting to the green or close to the green. And we have also seen some hole-in-ones. So once again, minus 40% minimum distance. For hole number 2, we are going to play with a turkey ball, aurora ball, rugby ball, arrow ball, whatever ball that has wind 5 power 2. And now we're going to play without spin. We're going to use half of the blue ring outside the rough with the ball guideline through the hole. Very, very important. And then we're going to play with a pull angle that is going to be a slight 1201, which means that the arrow is going to go center to the right just a little bit when you pull your rings. Adjust minimum distance with a 5% over adjustment, and it's going to be power 2 ball setting. Hit perfect, and this ball is either going to be just on the lip or it's going to be in the hole. Boom! For hole number 3, we're going to play with a Centurion or a Kingmaker. I want to have the Centurion though to reduce the wind a little bit. 6 bars of topspin and as much side spin to the right possible. And we're going to play with the red ring by the rough line at the plus 7 yard mark as a start. Then we're going to adjust maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment. Once that is done, we're going to apply curl and overpower. And I want you to apply more curl. I want you to apply almost 1 ball outside the adjustment ring to the right, as we do need the kick there into the right as well to stay away from the bunker, especially if we do hit great left. Also, when it comes to the overpower, that is something you will have to go by feeling. And it's going to be something between no overpower to just like a 30, 40, 50% overpower, and then you're gonna be fine. Second shot here, there is a rough bump as well in play, which I haven't really dialed in yet. So I'm going to show you the approach where you're going to go with max side spin left, 3 bars of backspin here. We're using a little bit too much. And now the important lesson with this shot is let the ball guideline go through properly through the hole. Because if we just let it go tiny through the hole, this ball, as you're gonna see, is gonna fall super duper short. We're not getting the distance as we do want. We do have a good line though, but we're definitely not getting any roll when we're basically not aiming through the hole whatsoever. Second shot is going to be somewhere between minimum and medium distance, depending on the distance with your drive. No elevation though. And this is going to be, for sure, a good opportunity going forward in the tournament. Okay, so on hole number 4, we do get some sort of tailwind. And now it is very important that we are, focused and structured when it comes to making this adjustment. First, the thing that I do is that I pull 5 rings to measure if we do have more tailwind or crosswind, trying to dial it in that way. It's going to help me in the long run when doing like that, so I know if I'm going to use more overpower or less overpower, and the same when it comes to spin. So plus 23 is what I get off the 5 rings. I do stretch my target out as a start, so I have half of the yellow ring into the rough, the rest, the other half on the fairway. Then I just max plus 10, push up to max, and with a wind that is above 15.5 miles per hour, I'm gonna go with like 80-90% overpower, 1 bar of backspin, max side spin right, and then go with full curl to the right. If I do have wind that is below that, I'm gonna go full overpower. I'm also going to take off a little side spin. I'm only going to play 3 bars of side spin to the right, due to the wind does not really have that effect that it pushes me back as it has when we do have a higher wind. Nonetheless though, this is going to be an absolute must eagle if you're going to have anything to do with winning this tournament. For hole number 5, we're going to play a no movement shot. And now, don't touch your target until you adjust range. So we're going to start with the backspin, 3.8 bars backspin. And now the side spin is going to be the key. If we do have a high wind, we're going to play 2 bars of side spin. If we do have a lower wind, we're going to go down and play it like 1.8-ish. And those side spin measurements might be up for, for tweaks going forward in the tournament, but I do believe on this very tough par 3, this is going to be a very nice approach with the no movement. So I'm not touching my target until it's time to adjust the reins, and then obviously it hit perfect. But we're using a little bit too little side spin here, and we will miss to the left. Also, I would like you to have a slight 12-01 pull when adjusting your reins. Hole number 6 can be considered my favorite hole in this tournament, and the reason for that is that I feel so extremely locked in on this one already. So you're going to hear a little bit of my secret here on hole number 6. First, we start by playing with 4 bars of topspin and 2 and a click side spin left. I want to play with like the same side spin, like a side spin 1 ball. Now we want to look for the red ring to be halfway through the rough in maximum distance. Doesn't matter if you have a POC 5 or you have a POC 8, in my opinion, this is going to be your starting point. Adjust for a maximum distance with a 10% over adjustment, no curl whatsoever. And now it's very, very important to be focused on what yardage you are taking, because the yardages here will tell me at least what I'm going to play the second shot as. So 351, and we're going to look for the second shot to be then 1-1 minus 0.3. Max side spin right here, like 2.2 side spin right with a smidge of topspin. We do want the ball guideline to be just through the hole here. Very, very important. So you will have to change the topspin or maybe remove the topspin depending on how far you're going with your drive. Now we're going to adjust this one for in this scenario, as it's not actually the same video, so we're going to adjust this one a little bit more. We're gonna adjust a little bit less. We're gonna adjust it 8 rings. But if we would be playing this the same video there, then we would be playing it 8.1. But in the end, doesn't really matter. We go by yardage notes, and if you do want to have the full yardage table, you subscribe to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. And just as a spoiler alert, I haven't missed this one yet with a perfect. For hole number 7, I'm going to show you one route, and that is going to be the more aggressive of them. And that is to play with a power 4 ball. You can play with a power 3 ball as well, but I would suggest a power 4 ball so you don't have to go with max overpower. 7 bars of top spin and as much side spin to the right possible, starting at the plus 21 yard mark. And then once adjusted, we're going to, in this case, use a little bit of curl. But I want you to remove the curl, as even though we hit perfect, you're going to notice how close we are to the rough, to the right hand side. You can hit great left, great right when you play without curl and still stay on the fairway. If you use the curl like we are doing here and hit great right, you will not stay on the fairway. That's a fact. 10% over adjustment, very, very important. Second shot, now we do have a straight headwind approach, and that is why I do believe the left-hand side is a very valuable option to play with. I understand totally those of you that want to lay up and go with a sniper shot towards the pin. But personally, when I hit 95% perfect on my short irons and I have a straight wind towards the pin here, I would go with a little bit tougher drive than trying to mixture with the sniper shots here in Master, as I do personally believe it's hard to hit perfect on a wood club playing from the playing here in Master Division. 10% over adjustment, and we just need to make sure that we aim to enough on the right side of the pin and obviously adjust properly. But this is a very good chance, especially with that type of wind. But a little bit tougher drive, but in the end it can reward you massively. For hole number 8, we're going to play with a quarterback and a power 1 wind 5 ball. We do have plenty of those, and it's up to you to then, if so, choose which one of them you want to play with. Here, we play with the feather ball. First, add spin, very important, and I'm making one mistake here. I'm going to tell you what that is in the end. Once you have made your spin, you're looking for the red ring being back there by the rough line, combined with the ball guideline through the hole. Then we're going to adjust here for maximum distance with no elevation. So the elevation has been slightly tweaked here to suit the adjustment. So we adjust for maximum distance, no elevation, power 1 ball is what we do. We hit the ball perfect, and you're going to notice the ball here bouncing on the fairway, and we are just going to miss to the left hand side. So what did I do as a mistake then? It's like the thing that you need to do is to start by adding 2.5 bar backspin, half a bar of left spin, and then ball guide line through the hole. Because the problem I did now is that I didn't do the full half a bar of side spin, which made me move my target even more to the left to get the ball guide line through the hole. Very, very important to have that in mind. In the end, hole number 8 is, in my opinion, a very good chance to get a hole-in-one. For hole number 9, we're going to play with a driver that gives us the most distance and topspin. Have in mind that you can play this shot with an Apocalypse level 5+. Even though with an Apocalypse level 5 it will be difficult, because in the end we do have less topspin. Max topspin, as much side spin to the right possible, and then we're going to adjust for a maximum distance plus 10%. Once done, we push up our target into max and we go max overpower. You can see that I'm using a stealth ball here, and I would suggest a stealth ball or like a season 18 ball with an Apocalypse level 6, 7 and 8. But with an Apocalypse level 5, I would suggest a Berserker ball to give you that extra wind push for that, for the less topspin we're having there. For the second shot, we're going to play with either a sniper or with a Goliath or a B-52, whatever you feel the most comfortable with playing. And I'm going to go for the rough bump. If you don't feel comfortable with the rough bump, just ignore it and then bounce yourself up from the fairway up towards the pin. But I do strongly believe that the rough bump is going to be the best way for us to get this ball in the hole. No elevation whatsoever, and we are from plus 13 going to play it from... we're going to play it maximum distance B52, which is going to be a lot of rings. But adjusting those rings here, and then we're going to adjust and then we're going to take our shot. And one thing as well with the rough bump, if you're having a ball like this, you only have side spin 1, which makes it a bit difficult if you're going to bounce up towards the pin. So if you're really going to give yourself the best chance for an albatross, you go for the rough bump, otherwise you go and bounce up from fairway up towards the green. So everybody, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Master Division for the Touchdown Tournament. The video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic, and get the Ultimate Tournament Text Guide where you can, for once, you know, get the yardage table for hole number 6 for an example. You can also get all the other goodies there. But because I do believe if you're gonna make it to the weekend round and then obviously going to make it to win, you need to have very low score, and the guides will for sure help you on the way there. In the end, make a comment in the comment section below if you do have any questions, and good luck in the tournament.